Thank you, Jay.
Okay. So I got the recording. All right, so we are doing responsibility number 2 for the budget cut calculations, and to ideally review the budget options and make a balanced budget based on our budget cuts. So we have the responsibility training process training for the budget. We've got the 45-degree budget link here. We have the monthly budget cuts calculations spreadsheet, and then we have the finances accounting. So we're going to start with the finances and accounting. Luckily for us, I believe Tay and Joyce, someone, maybe Lucy, worked on some of the accounting. They just forgot.
I did it last time.
Yeah, accounting's pretty easy. So you just have to have access to the accounts and you can do that. So basically, the for-profit is everything except for the trust and the nonprofit. So if we just sum up all of the for-profit value, which should start here. I'm sure this is not up to date, but it says there's $8,392. So then I would come into the budget cut calculation spreadsheet, which I made the tab for this month, for next month, I guess, right? And then under for-profit, I put 8,300, whatever it was. What was it? 8,000.
8,392.30.
Perfect. Okay, so that's the for-profit funds. Then we get nonprofit funds. So for the nonprofit funds, I just do a sum of all of the nonprofit money. And all of this money should be ours. I mean, this Evergreen main account is no longer Evergreen because they switched it. So this one's actually Evergreen. It was closed. And this is so now the CCC main account. All right, cool. Or this is the CCC joint account. Okay, cool. All right, so it's 17,244. So then we come back in here and we say 17,244. And you can see how our total amount of money has gone down by at least $3,000, right, for our accounting since we did accounting, all right? Cool. So now we are done with step 1.
Step 1.
Right, so step the accounting and how much is available, and you do that and you update the calculations on the monthly budget, right? So you want to, for the setup, you definitely want to make sure you duplicate the tab.
Okay.
Be sure to duplicate the tab and have everything ready for the calculations. Perfect. Okay. Excellent. All right, so then that brings us to step 2. Okay, but these aren't organized here, so let's just go through it. So step 2 is bills. So if you go in here, the first thing is our bills. I think we can just kind of assume our bills are ongoing, so we don't really need to worry about it. But yeah, we have about $1,250 on the bills, so we're just gonna leave that, and that's fine. Okay. So then that will bring us to the payrolls, and we can certainly, like all of this really is like what all of this is. Let's just put this down lower for now, and we'll try to come back to it and fix it and stuff. Okay. So let's see, number 2. So I'm going to try to get the responsibility training a little bit more organized while we're going through it. So for the bills, again, so this stays the same from month to month unless we update our bills, right? Unless we updated our bills. But basically, we expect about $1,250 of bills per month. Okay, so that's the cost of the bills. So that's already in there. So then next we go into the payrolls, okay? So for the payrolls, the way that we update the payrolls would be, and this is step number 3. All right, are you there still? Hello? All right, looks like we lost Sandra. Anyways, I guess I'll just keep going on the training. So the payrolls, we need to make sure that any payroll that has not been run yet is included for future expenses for the organization. So any payroll that wasn't run yet needs to be included. So we have to include all of the previous payrolls. So 1 degree base upfront payroll, I don't know why it has it in there twice. That's weird. Oh, this would just be bonus upfront. That's what it is. So this is base, this is bonus upfront, 1 degree east bonus upfront. So we did increase the bonuses to $600, and I'm expecting bonuses to be very high because of what's been going on and everybody wanting to get money for not completing all of the client work. But we did run the 1 degree base upfront payroll. So that means what's left is the 165 degree west base upfront payroll. And so this one we can pretty easily estimate by going into the 165 degree west, and we haven't paid any of the payrolls yet, so we can easily estimate it. So if we come in here, it says base upfront calculations are currently in the vicinity of about $868, including me getting nothing because I don't get paid anymore. So let's say 450. That looks good. And then we're gonna have the bonuses, which again is like $600. So just go boom, boom, boom. Base upfront, bonus upfront for 165. Bonus upfront. I can't hear you again. All right, let's try refreshing, seeing if it helps. Refresh. No, she's definitely not here. Hello? Oh, there you are. Hello?
Hi, Jay. Back, please. Sorry.
All right, so I'm going into step 3. Can you hear me? Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes,
Okay, so
yes.
step 3, we need to make sure that any payroll that has not been run yet is included for future expenses to the organization. So we know the next payroll that needs to be calculated is the 165 degree west, which is we're ending this month, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
for the 165 degree, we are expecting that it currently is calculated about $900. It'll probably be more than that. I mean, this is possibly because my pay is 0 at this point. And then for the bonus, the bonus is $600, which is quite high. So we're looking at another $1,600 of pay to be made on top of the additional $2,500 and all the other money. I mean, there's just tons and tons of money regarding the fact that we just have so little client work, only a few $100s of client work. But anyways, that would be the potential expenses for the organization, especially in relationship to everybody wanting so much money. Another thing
Okay.
that's important to note is that we also have the brand new back pays, right? So I would say we would also add in back pay. And
Oh,
this was, you know, new 45-degree east back pay. And then we have, it was, we just calculated it. What was it? So we calculated the back pay to be, the back pay that was already sent is 1,275. So
yeah.
let's just do $1,275 divided by 2. So we'll just do the same in each one. Okay, so then that's another bunch of money that we want to consider. And so that's the
Okay.
back pay, payrolls, and let's also add that
Can I
to
turn it
our,
to green or is it good in yellow?
what?
I mean, it's still in yellow, the color.
Yeah, yellow, because it's not verified or anything. It's just an estimate.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so we might add back pays separately. I don't know. May add back pays separately. We'll have to see. Okay. So that brings us to the rest of the payroll. So the 1 degree bonus was not completed. The 173 base upfront payroll we did complete. So we should be able to delete this.
Okay.
Then we have the 173 bonus, although everybody's bonuses might be going up just because of what's going on. Everyone wants more and more money. So let's put maximum bonuses. So this is bonus. Bonus. So
89.
these are all of the past bonuses that haven't been run yet. So we have as much as $2,800 of bonuses that people might want to get. So all of these have to be deducted from our total amounts of value. Activity
Okay.
payroll. I mean, obviously, I'm not getting paid. We're not planning on paying me. Like nobody really wants to prioritize that. I would say we should still leave it though, just because it is value that should be equated, even though it is not great. So FQN back pay, payrolls, bonuses, and reconciliation. Bonuses and reconciliation, back payrolls, back bonuses. So these are the back pay, bonuses and payrolls from the previous 4 months, right? So this is the 4 months together that we did all at once. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but the bottom line is that it's an absolutely massive amount of money that the team has not agreed to remove from the balance sheet. And of course, we definitely should remove that, but the team obviously wants to prioritize getting money. So anyways, we have to deduct that as well, so that reduces the budget. And then we have reimbursement. So then the next step is reimbursement. So let's go in here. And then we have the estimated reimbursement. So we're done with the payrolls. Do you have any questions on the step to estimate all of the past payrolls that haven't been done yet? Does that
No,
make
no.
sense? So
Yeah.
we have a total for all the past payrolls is a total of like $7,000, which is like literally like, a third of all of our money, right? So if the team continues to demand more and more money, it basically just means that we have to cut our budget more and more and more. Okay? That makes
Okay.
sense? Yeah. So
Yes, it
then,
does.
so then step 4 would be going into the reimbursements.
Reimbursement,
And
yes.
this would also be a way to potentially increase the budget if the team could get agreement on not taking all of this $7,000. Then that could actually increase the budget that we could for hiring people now, right? So okay, so now we're going into the reimbursements. So for reimbursements, we're just estimating the total reimbursements for the team. All right, so we're going to be doing reimbursements for, I believe, the previous month, the 165 degree, possibly, and then the 48, no, 45, right? So there might be two sets of reimbursements here. I think reimbursements are planned. We are seeing reimbursements go up.
Okay.
So it's to consider that. And so then other, I don't know of any other payments that we have, but I think that is a pretty good overall amount. We have, all right, so
Okay.
that brings us to, so any questions on the reimbursements?
No. 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 No.
Yeah, and then other would be like any other possible
How
calculations
about
for payments, right? So this is just like any other payments or loss of funds. What were you saying?
I'm saying is payroll correct, and why is it shining orange?
This is the
Payroll.
past. This is the past
Yeah.
payrolls. These are past payrolls, which is why they're so orange, right? Because they're so old that it's like these really shouldn't be included, but we're leaving them in because the way the team acts, right? The team wants every single dime they can possibly get. So, we might need to deduct these from our money, right? Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
I think this is from before you even got involved, right? Okay, so that brings us to 6, right? Which is step
6.
6 is
Subtotal.
payables,
Payable.
right? Yeah. So
Payable. Yes.
this is basically, estimating potential income that we have coming into the organization, right? So if we have
Okay.
money in, then that is really, really. Oh wait, no, this is total. No, this is just the total. So this is just to verify. I'm a step ahead. So the estimating the income is going to be accounts receivable. So that's step 7. Okay, so
Okay.
accounts payable is just verify that the total for all payments is correct and the formula is correct. So what we want to do here is just make sure everything's added up correctly. So you can see here it's sum of E9 through E23. So we go up to E9, which is this one, all the way down to E23, which is that one, and it's correct. And these are both correct. So the total is $9,425 of
Oh,
additional costs and payments for all of our bills and payrolls and everything potentially during the month. Okay, that makes sense?
no, please. Where? How is it 9,000? Okay, I can see it. For profit and non-profit, right? The
Yeah, well,
total of profit and non-profit.
these are just the two halves. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and overall, this is obviously really, really bad. I mean, if the for-profit has $8,000 and we could potentially spend 5,000, that only leaves like 3,000 left. So yeah, so you can see here. Anyway, so let's go through accounts receivable. So accounts receivable is basically any funds that we are expecting to receive for income, right? Which would increase the total amount. So everything that we do, accounts payable and all the money that we're sending out reduces the amount of money we have. Accounts receivable is increasing the amount of money that we have. And unfortunately, we
Please,
just have no income, so there's no money coming in, so there's no accounts receivable.
please say that again. You said accounts receivable is the money we are expecting on. So,
Is the money that would be coming into the business, the umbrella business.
okay, money that will become. Okay.
We have no expected additional money coming in because we don't have any external clients or anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So then we calculate the final estimate, right? So that's step 8.
Final
So
estimate.
yeah, so we're doing the final estimate. So we just want to verify that calculations are correct. So in this case, the calculation is simply the total amount of money that we did for the accounting minus the total amount of money that we're paying out potentially over the next month, plus the total accounts of money coming in, right? So it's E6 minus E26 plus E34. So that is correct. And then this is the same, 26, 34, yeah. Okay, so we have, so after we do all of our payments and payrolls and everything, we can estimate we have a total of $13,000 left in the nonprofit and $3,000 left in the for-profit, which is a grand total of $1,600 left overall, which is about $3,000 less than I was, thinking about, but which makes sense because it's been like a month or two since we last updated this. So before I was thinking we had about 20,000, now we have about or 19,000, and now we have about $16,000 left. Okay, that makes
Okay.
sense.
Yes, yes, Jay.
So that's the final estimate. Now what we do is we go for the next step. This is where the actual work comes in, and all the rest of it is just kind of just updating. So we do what's called the cut tables. So the cut tables is where we actually verify cuts, right? So we
You
have the
said
cut table right here. The first cut table is for the for-profit, right? So the for-profit cut table is right here, right? Actually, let me bring this over. There it is. Okay. So you go into the table, and then you look up how much money we have and then the total amount of cuts. So in this
okay.
case, we have 3,180. So you can see that 3,180 is line 133. So anything between 3,000 and 4,000 is 92.31% cuts. So basically, we're looking towards 100% cuts. Like we get under $3,000, it's just like we cut everything, right? I mean, we're really, really bad on the for-profit. So to get the cuts
Okay.
updated, it would be 92.31%. 92.31%. All right. So that is the cuts for the for-profit.
Okay. Okay.
Then we do the nonprofit. So for the nonprofit, we have 13,032. So then we go to the nonprofit table. So this needs to be switched with the nonprofit table. So let's get rid of that and put that down here. Oh my God. What is this? Okay, so this is the for-profit table. So we already did the for-profit table, so we can get rid of that. And now we're doing the non-profit table. So bring that up here to, yeah, there we go. Boom. All right, so this is the nonprofit table. So for the nonprofit table, we know we have 13,032. So we go to the nonprofit table, we find 13,000 to 14,000 is 49% cut.
49% cut.
49% cuts. 49% cut. So then that is correct, and we can give that good. All right. So the original baseline was $6,150, and then
Okay.
this would be the new calculation. So just to go in here, so we finished step 9. Do you have any questions on step 9, the cut tables and how it works?
No, Jay.
Okay, so then we go into step 10, which is just the final calculations, which is pretty easy. It's not that difficult, but basically you need to verify all the formulas and make sure the final calculations are correct. So we just go
Please,
through. What?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, on line 43, I want to know how you know the amount to be cut. Where did you get it from? Amount to be cut.
Yeah, so this is just going to be the amount of money that's left over times the amount of percentage that needs to be cut, right? So it's just the total minus the percentage. So you're starting with the baseline of 6,000, you're multiplying it by the required cut. And this is the new baseline range for the nonprofit and the for-profit. Obviously, the for-profit, we basically have like zero money left. But then what we do in the cuts is we actually calculate it based on each side of the nonprofit and the for-profit. So, for example, we know that if we take the 6,150 and we cut it in half, then it's 3,075, right? So then you do the half baseline cuts. You get the new branch baseline after the cuts, and then you add it all together, which gives us our new max budget based on automated cuts for the entire budget. So $1,800 is the correct amount of money, right? So basically we went from, originally it was going to be $2,750. That's the baseline that we have been using, but obviously that's incorrect. The new correct amount is $1,800. Okay, so this is the old estimate, and this is the new correct
Okay.
we call the baseline. So this is our baseline budget. So any amount of money we spend over $1,800 is in the red.
It's in the red. Okay. Please say that again. Any amount of money we spend is in.
Any amount of money we spend above $1,800 would be in the red, right?
Above 1,000. Okay. Will be in the red. Will be in the red. Okay.
Yeah, so for example, last month we agreed to increase our budget to attempt to hire a bunch of new people to really get a lot of work done. I mean, this includes when we hired you. Like the goal was like, let's increase our work output, let's get tons of more work done. Obviously, that's been a failure in the organization because we hired tons of new people, went almost $5,000 more into the red to try to get more work done, and instead the team has voted and pushed to, end all the deadlines and the pay stops and the whole system, redo all the system, and focus on basically everything except for the actual work. So as far as like the trajectory goes, the organization, there's just no way the organization can afford to continue to pay everybody to not do work, right? So we need to cut, and this gives us the baseline for how much we need to cut. Also, it's good to note we did run one other payroll that we forgot to include here, so we could include that one, which was the 1 degree base payroll. We actually did pay, we just didn't, it wasn't in the accounting, right? So the same with the base, would be the base upfront payroll. So that was 600 and something. So it was only it's not a lot. Let's just say 300 each. So it's not a lot of money that we can add there, just to make sure that's there. But it's not going to change anything, right? It's still going to be $1,800. So I think that looks good to me. So let's check. Are there any other questions on the final calculation?
No, G.
Okay. So then we can look at the last few steps. So it says to do communications review and verification, and then update the budget spreadsheet with corrected baseline. So we're going to do the communications and verification. So this would be step 11, and basically we just copy the link here. This is going to be part of the value team. So then I just go over to the value team and I say @value. And then I say, oops, what's going on? Oh, there we go. We finished updating, I guess we don't need to say we just say finished updating the new baseline calculations for the budget cuts. Lots of funds could be deducted from past payrolls to increase the budget baseline, but for now we calculated $1,800 for the baseline, which is about this is about $1,000 less than before, which makes sense because we are really running out of money big time. Okay, so you can verify the calculation here. But all right, perfect.
Okay.
So then that's just the notification. And sometimes it's good to just, show an example here. And usually it's good. Wait, what's that? Reset. Okay. I don't know why it's blue, black. Okay. All right, so that's just like a good example. So then the last thing that we do is the budget spreadsheet baseline updates. All right, so this is step 12. So you go to the budget itself, right? Go to budget, find the external income baseline and update the value to the correct value. All right, so let's see if we can find the budget. We link the budget. Oh no, what's this? This is all in the wrong place. So this goes under budget cut. There we go. But, okay. So we find the budget, which is right here, line 8.
Line 8, okay.
And then we go to all of the options. So we're going to each option one at a time to make sure it's correct everywhere. And then we're going all the way down to line 47.
47, okay.
Instead of 3,160, it's going to be 1,800. 1,800. Okay. Cool. And
Yes,
then I
yes, yes.
got all of the other ones as well. So I can just like copy and paste. And here, copy and paste. And here, copy and paste. Done. All right, so that's it. I just want to make sure it's all updated. So we are done with responsibility number 2. So do you have any questions on responsibility, except for the verification, right? So when you do work, you can't verify your own work. Someone else would have to verify who didn't do the work themselves.
Okay.
So do you have any other question on the budget cut calculations?
No, no, I don't. Oh no.
Cool. All right, so then the next part of this, if we wanted to, would be to actually create a balanced budget, right? So the question would be like, what does a balanced budget look like, right? So now we
Oh,
know that our goal for a balanced budget would be equal to $1,800, right? For the total budget for the month. So we can take a look at our overall budget. Do we have the overall budget here? No, but I did go over it with earlier. So do we want to spend a few minutes just kind of going over what the budget might look like? And then I can show you how I build a balanced budget.
yes, yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so
please.
let me see if I can find my notes. Yeah,
Balance.
this is it. This would be our current overall budget. So this is our current overall budget, where our back pay is $2,490, our overall HR budget is $2,500, our monthly HR benefits $1,500, HR half year budget, half year benefits $525, and then we have the business costs and business expenses and bills, which is $1,250. So we can verify these numbers exactly. So when I look at the actual time budget, I'm getting 2,188, right? So
For
which is also what?
go ahead, G.
What did I do here? I seem to have copied and pasted into the wrong place. So this goes right here. All right, there we go. Okay, so this is our overall budget on topic 2. Perfect. So we can verify these. So I was going into the budget. I was noting here that it looks to me that the overall time budget is around 2,188. But that's not going to be applicable, so we can delete that. Or no, it's 2,611. Okay, so it's 2,611, and then the HR monthly benefits are this number here. All of these added up, which is 1,740, 1,740, and then those
174.
I believe are correct. So 525, 1250, perfect. Okay, so that is a grand total of $8,616. And then our new baseline is 1,800. So the baseline is 1,800, which puts us in the red, $6,800.16. All right, so are you on the same page in terms of our current budget? This would be the overall like previous budget based on all the decisions that have been made so far. Do you understand like where we are now?
I do.
Okay,
But
cool.
you said you're going to show me how you get all the numbers.
To get all the what?
How you come, how you get all the numbers? Like, how do you come across HR half year benefit? Why is it 525? I did like to know.
You just go to the budget and it says right here. So the HR half year benefits is $525.
Okay.
And the
Okay.
business
Option.
class bills is 1,250. So that's just the estimated cost for it. And if you go to the half year report, it has more details on the business cost budget and the bills and everything. Okay.
Okay. HR. Okay. HR time budget. Okay. I've seen it.
Excellent.
HR benefit. Okay. I've seen it.
All right. So now the goal is okay, how can we turn this ridiculous budget that's completely in the red and actually start cutting and figure out how to make it fit into our $1,800. So the first thing in terms of the back pay, obviously we would not be able to do the $2,490 back pay. So instead, we could start with this number that we had from before, which was 1,275. So let's start with that. So 1,275 would imply that everybody would get the money that they got already and no one would have to give any money back. Okay. So this would be like a $0, neutral, no negative back pays. All right, that makes sense?
Yeah.
So then the HR budget, I mean, let's say we cut the HR budget by at least half. So 26 would go to 1,300, right?
One.
Um,
Okay.
the HR monthly budget. So you could easily improve the HR monthly budget a lot of different ways. So one way that you could do that would be, and let's call this option, call it option 4, right? For now, the goal is that this would be balanced. So we're trying to create a balanced option, right? So the first thing in terms of these benefit budgets is the time buffer could go down. The overall, I mean, we could just get rid of bonuses entirely. Internet reimbursements might actually go up. Other fees and reimbursements might actually go up. Back pay advances, we already know, is basically $1,275. So I guess this total could actually be brought down some 650, right? So this would be 650. Okay.
Okay.
And this one too, so we're not doubling up on values. The HR monthly benefits would actually have been take all of this, it's going to be 1,300. So the correct number here should be 1,300, which puts us only 6,000 $376 in the red. I like it better when it's just like the color is red instead of, yeah, that looks better. Okay. All right, so the HR monthly budget, $650. The half year benefits, we could keep that at $525, and the business bills are all the same. So let's see what this adds up. So this would be like the simplest. Hello? I think I lost Sandra
Okay,
again. Oh, are you
I'm
there or
back.
something?
I'm
Oh, you're
back.
back. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Great. All right. So this new budget, so this would be like our initial cuts budget. So this new budget is still in the red, $3,000 in the red.
3,000. The
It's still $3,000 in the red. Okay.
There is
So
3,000.
why'd you do that? What are you doing? Yeah, $3,000 in red. Okay.
It's 3,000 too, not 3,000.
$3,200 in the red. So the total
Yeah.
budget is $5,000 and still $3,000. So this is not a balanced budget, right? So this would just be option 4 is just not more balanced. But let's see what happens if we cut people based on the previous ranking. So it would be like Mamoon, Benjamin, Gloria, Joyce. This might help us get to 1,300. So let's delete all these people. 1,800. So maybe we cut Chanindam, maybe Evrice, Sandra, and then you would be the next person to cut. And I think that might get us all the way to, it's still 1,600, all right? So it'd be $1,600 at least. So it's still $300 over. So $3,500 is what would still cut half. So this cuts half the workers and cuts all bonuses, and then you have half your benefits is the same and same. Okay. So we
Okay.
still have $3,500 in the red, but it still cuts a lot, right? So that's a good start. So let's see if we can keep going. So I would say that the next one we would cut the back pay in half. So let's take the back pay down to like $600. The HR budget, we try to get down to $1,000. What other cuts could we have? We could start cutting internet maybe a little bit. So this would be option 5. So let's duplicate here. And then in
Okay.
option 4, we said that the total back pay, yeah, 132%. Perfect. So then here, option 5. Our hope is this is going to be balanced, right? So the first thing we need to do is reduce the time buffer a little bit. We'll reduce our internet some more. Fees can go down some more. We're going to reduce everyone's back pay some more. Okay. Then we're reducing the total HR budget to $1,000. So we have to,
$1,000.
we need to cut another $600 from the budget. So maybe that gets rid of Ate and Name Note, Kenny. I mean, it seems a little ridiculous, but let's get rid of Kenny. We'll just get rid of Kenny and Nemo and try to keep Ate since she wants to be the manager. That still puts us at $1,400. Oh wait, I'm not getting paid anymore, so we could get me down to 0. Let's check my pop and just verify it, what my pop looks like.
Okay.
So we haven't done the pop verifications, but basically I'm trying to reduce my budget as much as I can. So this would be the March, April budget. So it looks like I'm still at $1,032. So it's still pretty high for me. So yeah, so it's still the same. Okay. So it's still maybe I could reduce this a little bit down to like 9 hours. Maybe Lucy's down to 12. Tay's at 12. So it's 1,250. Maybe we can get rid of Ben. Do we really need Ben? No. 1,225. Okay. So
Oh,
1,225. Half year benefits. Maybe we can reduce the half year benefits a little bit. Maybe bring it down to like 400, small reduction. Bills, business expenses. Maybe we can cut some bills. I don't know. Small reduction. But that still leaves us $2,000 in the red.
we are still 2,000 in the red.
Still 2,000 in the
2,000.
red. So I mean, to try to actually get in the green, I think we would have to do even more significant cuts, like no back pay, you know, preemptive budgets. This would be called preemptive budget cuts, right? And then we can get that down to like 1,000 or even less. So if we did preemptive budget cuts and got me down to, I guess this is now option 6. So option 5 and option 5, yeah, okay, then option 6. So for option 6, the goal would be getting me down to $0, and then that would get it down to like 600. We might even be able to hire one person, Eileen Abubakar Alice. That looks good. Time buffer, maybe we get that down to 250. Internet reimbursements down to 100. Fees maybe down to 50. Back pay down to 0. Okay, so this would be $600 would be the total budget. Monthly benefits, HR benefits would go down, and we said that would be $400. Half year bonus bills, bonus, yeah. So it's still $600 in the red, but I think that's about as far as we could get to, like $300 in the red, $300, $400 in the red.
400 in the red.
So I would say this would be difficult, but if people wanted to prioritize bills, maybe we could get down that far. But anyway, so option 6 is still not perfectly balanced, but we'll just say almost balanced. Almost balanced. So I don't know if people would be willing to agree to cutting all of the pack pay, which means that everybody would have to give back their $1,275 of back pay in order to make those types of cuts. Okay, so anyways, I think that is pretty clear as far as some of our budget options for actually going towards a balanced budget and having a little more clarity at how small amount of money we actually have. I think
Okay.
I think people are just kind of money lust hungry, where they just think we have unlimited money, which we obviously don't. So I'm not sure where everybody gets this idea that we can ask for $2,500 of back pay and pretend like it doesn't affect anything. But anyways, the goal is to get these budget options updated and correct, and then send it out to vote on, and then see if we can get agreement on any of these budgets, right? And the goal is getting agreement. And again, if we can't get agreement, we need to schedule some budget meetings, and then hopefully we can continue to, you know, work through all the issues and problems and try to get a consensus somehow. And then, but if we can't get consensus, then we go into, this deadline of April 8th.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think this is pretty good. I mean, getting within $400 of our baseline is actually pretty good. Yeah.
Is 400 the least we could go?
I mean, I don't know how to go lower than that without firing everybody, so if we went lower than that, we would just hire like one person. So we could go lower and actually have a fully balanced budget if we just hired either Lucy or Ate instead of both of them. And we could get rid of either Eileen, Abubakar, or Alice, and so we would be able to have a balanced budget. So I think that's what it would take to have a balanced budget, is only hiring one additional person besides myself. So it would be either Lucy or Ate. And obviously I would already not be getting paid. Yeah. Yeah. And then the other option, of course, is we can consider and look at the option of doing preemptive budget cuts. If the team are willing to take more cuts, then we could be able to hire more people. But that's up to the HR board to decide if they want to do that. But either way, I mean, I think that this whole idea that there's just endless money and everyone get paid whatever they want to and there's no repercussions, I mean, that just needs to end, because this is just ridiculous. Spending 2 weeks, everybody just like asking for money, 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 and then not doing any work at all. I mean, it's not a function. It's not how organizations work. The budget is what determines the pay, not just like randomly voting on getting extra money that comes from magical places. So any other questions on the budget cuts?
No.
No? Cool. Alrighty. Well, I think that's it then. If you have any other questions, we can do a wrap up. We can do whatever. Otherwise, I think we are done.
Okay. No question for me for now. Mm.
All right. So I don't know if you want to go join. Oh no, it looks like a Tay left. Yeah, you can stop network. And now just we
Well,
don't have any. I guess they didn't. They weren't able to
they,
work. We wrapped up and checked out problems for both of us. All right. So, anyways, I think we're done. If you don't have any last questions, I think we are all done. But it's definitely good to get some more clarity on the budget. Super important.
yes, yes.
So, no other questions?
No.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'll talk to you soon.
No other questions from me.
Yeah. And also, the other place that we could go to try to increase and get a balanced budget in the baseline is that we could actually, um, get rid of some of these past payrolls that no one ever wants to do the work, right? So if no one wants to do the work, we're not going to do the payroll, right? So there is literally $10,000 of back value that we are expected to cover that we could get rid of, which would significantly increase our budget, right? So it's a minimum of $8,000 or more. Like if we just got rid of all of these past payrolls, we could easily hire like multiple more people. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Instead of focusing on the past, like giving money away for not doing work, we could focus on the future and actually pay people to do work. Because obviously the past represents not doing work, right? Like very little work has gotten done previously, and we're trying to get work done to move forward and be functional. So anyways, I feel like this is where the biggest chunk of money is that we could potentially get. Like, let's say we just reversed all of this, and got rid of all of these, maybe we would keep some of the back pay and we would keep, the next month's budget, right? We get that one done. And then we get rid of everything else. That would change the cut significantly. So let's see what that would look like. So we go to um, the responsibility training. And then we go down to the tables. So for the for-profit, it was 6,000. So that would be a 69%. So this would go to 69%. So it's 30% savings. And then the other one's 15,000. So this would go to 15,000 would be 35%. So then this would go to 35%. And then the total would be 2,900.
Okay.
Right? So it would
2000.
add, yeah, it would add an additional $1,000 to our budget. So we could hire like 2 or 3 additional people instead of worrying about all the past payrolls. We could focus on the future. So anyways, that's definitely an option that people could consider. But I don't know if that would pass either, because obviously it would mean that people would have to give up their past pay. So coolio. So it's good to note that in the calculations here. This is about $1,000 less than before because we were running out of money to pick up. You can verify the calculations here. I'll just do a reply. So I'll say reply. We calculated that if we got rid of back payrolls, we could easily add an additional $1,000 per month into the budget. Which could allow us to not fire 2 to 3 more workers. Cool. All right. Any other last question? Otherwise, I think that's it.
Okay. No question. My understanding is that are we still in the mission of firing any worker?
My goal is to fire like 75, like more than half of the workers.
Is it happening this month or next month?
I mean, as soon as possible. I mean, it's up to the team to decide, right? So it just all depends on when there's agreement on the budget, which might be not until April 8th, right? So we are all required to get agreement on the budget by April 8th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So the question is how to get agreement, and right now we just don't know. But
Okay.
one thing for sure is that we can't continue to go the way that we have been. I mean, everyone's just like votes, yeah, let's just give thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and let's get rid of all of the pay stubs, and there's like triple and quadruple and quintuple and times 10 everybody's pay, and it's like it's just not reality. Like the team can keep voting like this and pretend like, oh yeah, we can just pay everybody everything, but like in the end it just comes down to the budget. Whatever is agreed upon in the budget is what people get paid, no more and no less. So it really is just about the budget.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So but yeah, I mean, I don't have any problem if people want to get paid more money. It's perfectly fine. I think it's perfectly reasonable. If the pay was too low, the pay is too low. People want to get paid more money, that's fine. But the calculation is very, very, very simple. If you have 10 workers and you've got $2,000 in your budget, right? So this is your
okay.
budget. Then each worker can have on average would be 2,000 divided by 10 workers. So it's about $200, average per worker. So if you want to get paid more money per month, and you guys vote on all these new policies, the easiest way to pay everybody more money is simply to cut the number of workers in half or more than half. Because the budget stays the same. There's no more money, right? Unless we get client income, there's no possible way to have more money. So that means that if everyone wants to get paid double, triple, whatever, we just have to cut the number of workers. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's a very simple calculation. So unless we can figure out a way to bring in more money, which we have not because we're not even doing the work anymore, that's our situation. Yeah. Cool. Any other last questions, comments, anything?
No.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. You take care.
All right. I can hyper evaluate, right?